So, and we're live. Gosh, that was fast. So we've got Alejandro, we've got Richard. It is the BetaSaaSers meetup. It's also combined with Atlantic Scrum. We'll check in with Richard first. I guess, well, actually, I'll give you the updates on the BetaSaaSers side. Richard, is that Armando does seem to be talking about running the MOOC in the autumn, for the fall, as it's called, across the pond. And I'm having a big chat with him about, the ongoing chat about, public versus private refos and so on. But no other particular news there. Any news from your end, Richard?
Tell me, am I buzzing?
You are, but it's okay. We can still understand you. You sound like a scientist.
Did it go? Shoot.
But it's cool. I should have mentioned it. You should just like say what you have to say, and it's.
Okay. I just no. Mostly, I'm seeing that he is has sent his emails, and I see he's working on it. And there's going to be a bunch of new stuff. He's doing the Sinatra thing, so all that looks good, and it's just a question, of how much we preview.
Depeche Mode is famous for saying, "It's a question of time." That is a important song lyric from the '80s. So I really appreciate you, reaching out like that. Go on.
Right. Sorry. And I'm guessing that. I can, as long as I sort of know what's coming approximately, I can be flexible because the beginning part of the course is the easiest one to finesse. So I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I'm going to be working on myself and asking my TAs, and I can't remember if I asked last time, so I'll just plant a seed, is the fact that when I try to do my pair programming in the classroom, and use like the class time as lab time, it can work okay when I first start a project, like start a homework, because everyone's sort of on the same page. In fact, I used to not release the homework until just hours before, just so some people wouldn't get it done and come into class and say, hey, I have nothing to do because I already did it. So what I'm thinking of doing, if I didn't mention this before, is trying to figure out either come up with projects or portions of the homework that I can make in sort of bite-sized, like hour-and-a-half size chunks, and say, hey, look, you got to get this done.
Yeah.
Or grade at the end.
Right.
Just so people sort of get synced up. That's just one idea. Has yet to come to fruition, but that's what I'm going to be thinking about, I'd say, in this class the most.
Yes.
You're going. Okay. And the only other thing, I guess, as you sign off, is this your last week for a few weeks?
No. We'll sometime next week, and then Thursday week I'm off.
Got it.
Yep. Yes, I was just going to ping this. Yeah, cool. So well, I do hope you can share some of those. I think those flipped classroom activities, which is what you're sort of describing.
Yeah, and that should be, so I think we'll be getting more involved in the mailing list, and sending some emails and stuff, because I think that will work. We'll share some stuff with Armando and other people. Very good.
Yeah, cool, excellent, nice one. All right, let's check in with Alejandro. Well done, Alejandro. Oh, well, I guess I was going to say to Alejandro, you'll need to unmute. Richard, yeah. So given that the MOOC is on for the fall, I'm excited about the possibility of is actually using Agile Ventures as the pairing platform for the MOOC, and we'll see if that works. But partly on that note, Alejandro has been doing some updates to how the Hangouts get started on website 1, which is great. Well done, Alejandro. Yeah. So everything under control at the moment?
Yes, I think it is. I am waiting for this Hangout to see it work. It seems to work very well. And I think that's all for now.
Yeah, no, great. Yeah, I mean, we rolled these new things out to production. The Hangout appears to be, it certainly didn't have any problem starting it, and I can see that the button is live there. And I presume, I'll just share my screen here, or share one of the screens. Let's do, which screen? This one, that one, there, which is rather small, but no, wrong thing. Yeah, I wanted to increase the size of this window. But yeah, so this green, join button here. That doesn't update automatically, right? When the Hangout finishes, it's like you have to refresh the page to see the change. Is that right, Alejandro?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
at the moment, right? Yes. So we've still got this general issue of kind of like potentially stale pages. I mean, I was sort of thinking about that today. I mean, I don't know that we can fix it before
Yes.
before the autumn. I mean, I guess in the ideal world, we would have WebSockets, or we'd have some sort of scalable thing in place so that they were basically, it was live, updated. But anyway, this is the improvement that we have is in the past. What would happen is it would go grey after 15 minutes, whether the meeting was carrying on or not. That's what it used to do.
5 minutes.
So, was it check? Was it after that? It was checking every 5 minutes. Was it? What was it doing before, Alejandro?
Yes. Before it update, if Agile Ventures receive a message from Hangout within the 5 minutes, the button keeps alive. But past 5 minutes, the button gets down.
Oh, okay.
Now, the button gets out when you stop the broadcasting.
Right.
Also, it has a 2 minutes update for if you don't stop and close the window, it don't keep open.
Oh, sorry, I'm just going to mute Tom there.
It don't keep on.
Sorry, say that last bit again, Alejandro. So yeah, so it's waiting for you to stop the broadcast, but then there's always also a 2 minute wait for, what was it?
If you close the window, the Hangout window, without
stopping the broadcast.
Exacto, without stopping the broadcast, website 1 spec is updated within the 2 minutes, or if not updated, it thinks it get off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean it's great to be able to detect the stop and start of the broadcast. I guess in some ways maybe the more, I mean that's valuable. Just thinking about this in the longer term. In some ways, I think the critical thing is like if there's people still there. So if people, the broadcast might have stopped, but as long as there's people still in the room, then that's kind of I think that's the critical visibility. Like, I mean, people, I think may also, I mean, in some ways, what we would like is that, I can imagine from the outside, like, in this setup here, like what people, the kinds of things that they would be interested in is, one, is there anybody there, right? So is there any point? And two, is it live? Like people might want to not join a live hangout because they'll be broadcasted and so on. But yeah, maybe that's something we can look at over the summer.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's kind of interesting that we have this setup here where, in some ways the most valuable information from here, which is like who is in the hangout. Like we have like who started it, but like this information that we've got, and it's it's here. It's got we've got Alejandro, we've got Richard, we've got myself. Like this information really shouldn't be hidden. That's kind of like the main information. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're wandering through a city and you'll go past a restaurant or a pub, if you can see that someone that you know is there, then you're more likely to go in. But anyway, that's part of a longer term discussion about these things. So I mean, fantastic work, Alejandro, changing us over to the new Hangouts and understanding more of this process. I'll be wanting to talk to you more about that soon. But for the time being, you're not blocked by anything. You're kind of okay.
No, I can move ahead.
Great. Very pleased to hear that. Yes. Okay. Cool. I guess we just do. I mean, the updates from my side. Checked in with Ichi and Thomas this morning. Got stuff sort of Alejandro, so he was able to do all these tests. Merged in Ichi's latest thing for the category stuff. We'll be showing that to the client on Thursday. And and Tom is here as well. Hey, Tom, how are you doing? And you're muted at the moment. Oh, go on, Alejandro.
I will leave you.
Oh, okay.
Because I have things to do.
Sure, no problem, Alejandro. See you soon. Bye for now. Thanks very much. Tom, yeah. So you're working away on the nested form thing.
Yeah. So I've tried to change the categories. So do I have to share the screen?
Remember the critical thing is with these stand-ups is first, it's like a executive summary. Check in on where we are. Yeah, so you were sharing that. We've been talking about the nested form thing. I think we do need to look at that together. We'll do that. I guess that's the only thing that's on your mind at the moment. Otherwise, that's the only thing you've been looking at.
No, that's like. That's the only thing I've tried to work on.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance to pair with each other things, which is all fine. It's just like the first off we do, kind of executive summary, and then we move on. But so I think that's the end of the stand-up, unless there's any support. Richard, I guess, feel free to hang around and watch. Tom and I, we're going to try and debug some Rails. So I think, Tom, let's have a look at. If you want to share your screen, I've also got a version of it on my side. But share your screen and let's have a look at your encounter.
So right. So I've tried to change. So this bit here.
Right.
I've just tried to copy it from the source here that's been put in the partial recently.
Okay. Yeah.
And like I don't really understand what's going on with this f.object.
Okay.
This whole part, because like if I go to localhost, I should probably still have this. It's still giving me the same exact problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Before.
Okay. I think what's happened there is that you've failed to do precisely what I was suggesting. Let's look at why it's not doing what you want it to do. I think that the bigger, more important in some ways than. So I'm just trying to find my version of it locally as well. I've just closed some of these other things that are going on here. Capybara doing that. Is that the right thing? No, Build Manager, that doesn't look like it. Vending machine, goodness. But I think, in this situation, it's a lot about, how does one, okay, I think I've found the thing, I've got nested forms, I'll put my screen share on as well. I mean, the real question is being stuck in this situation, and sort of, as I'm sure you're, thinking like how to get out of it. And ideally, you want to have set up with an external screen so you can see your code on one screen, and you can have me up on the other monitor if you can get plugged in.
No, unfortunately, I don't have any.
No. Okay. Well, that's the. I mean, I guess that's the. I would say don't. It's a bit like sort of cleaning your work desk. Always get yourself set up with an additional monitor if you possibly can. Anyway, we won't worry about that now. Let's go over here and look at the form here. So, I've got the version form. If we look back, I'm going to grab. I'm going to go back to what we were talking about in the local support channel. Hopefully we've got enough history that it's still there. So. I mean, the interesting thing is, you've got something slightly different from what I'm suggesting there. But, I mean, I think that what you've got there is we're doing, like on line 10, you've got catf.object.name, right? And at the moment, that's being reported as, I mean, just look in don't switch to mine. Switch between backwards and forwards between your code and your browser window. Like when you're in the nested form.
Okay, so.
That's the one. There we go.
Okay.
There it's. Did you refresh the page?
I've just changed the because I've seen that you have done like line 10,
Yeah.
this thing here, and I didn't. Because if I
Okay.
just alright, and it's not like it's not doing anything.
No. But I think the biggest. I mean, let's go back to line 8 and let's take apart line 8 and see if we understand what each thing is doing. So then the first question we ask is on line 8, like moving along it. I mean, what is the F? Yeah, we're starting on line 8 with an F. So what does that F stand for?
Like it should be like an element created by the first form 4. So it's kind of like it should be like some kind of constructor or builder, like that. Something like a part of Rails that is like does that for the forms, creates the fields and.
I mean, I'd almost say that it is a form object. Like,
all right. Yeah. Okay.
Like, yeah. And we could even on line 1 we could replace the letter F with the word form, FORM. Why don't you do that? Because this, I mean, if we look on line 1, it says form for at organization do form. Like, can you sort of interpret that as a Ruby statement on line 1?
Yeah.
So, like, what's that doing on line 1?
So on line 1, it could be like, say that form 4. It's like he iterates through the. So the problem is, I'm not sure like what's going on with the form object actually. I'm not. That's really like something I don't like.
Yeah. Well, come to my screen again.
Okay.
So now, forgive me if this is too simple, but one of the important things to be aware of here is that like form 4 is basically a Ruby method call here.
All right.
Yeah. So this is, we've got our ERB syntax. Basically, this form 4 is going to be a method call. Yeah.
Right.
And so form 4 is a Rails helper method.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. Rails defines like form 4. We can imagine. Let's imagine down here that we had somewhere in Rails, it's got like this, yeah? And it takes an argument, and it also will take, kind of like the other thing. It will take a block.
Okay.
Yeah? So these two things, like, we are basically here. We're passing to the form 4 method 2 arguments. One argument is the organization. Yeah?
Yeah.
And the second argument is this block.
Right.
So that's going to come in here, and then Rails is going to, like, put our form there. So, like, it's going to be, then for the label, that's another, like, for the, within the class of forms, it's going to have a method label that will take some. Parameter. It's called an org, shall we? Like this. And so when we call form label, we're going to be calling that, and name's going to go through, and it's basically for whatever this kind of class of form that Rails has defined. This is then going to spit out, like it's going to return, a string. It's going to be whatever, like I don't know, like label. I forget. Is it going to be like this? It's going to do something like this, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. This is going to be like. It's going to do it like this, yeah. So it kind of, I consider, I mean, one of the things about this is it's kind of convoluted. Basically, it's just spitting out bits of HTML. And we're using this kind of. There's all this other blah 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 is going to happen in here, form 4, and then it's going to call the block. Yeah.
Right.
And then that's going to cause, all of these things to be replaced with the appropriate strings and so on. So it's it's all just kind of Ruby under the hood. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I guess these ones are not so hard to understand, right? You're quite happy with lines 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I think it's more the nested form that it's
Yeah.
actually like I kind of know what it does. Like it wasn't explained, but I took it like it works. Tried it. It's more like the nested thing. It's just that.
So the thing here is, so we've got this, so now on line 8, and mine's a bit different from yours, but if we think form, so if we now, so this is the form, so when we have this dot field 4 here, what are we doing? What is this?
This is just like, this is calling the method again on the form object.
Right. So we've got some kind of like, you know, field 4. And then, so what arguments is this field 4 method taking?
It's just taking like, okay, it's symbols, so it could be,
so how many arguments is this method taking?
2.
I think there's certainly at least 2. Yeah, we're getting 1
could be
here,
more.
which is like, this is kind of like the model, I guess the model name. Yeah.
Alright.
And then there's something else here, which is like maybe the models, but then also there's something else. What is it also being sent?
Sorry? Why?
Yeah, there's 2 arguments. There's at least 2 arguments, but it's in the same way. This form 4. How many arguments did this form 4 get?
In this case, it's 2, and 3 maybe with the block.
Right, exactly. So here we go. So we've got, so this thing here, the fields 4 thing is taking 3 arguments. Yeah.
Right.
And we can go and look at, for example, I don't want to look at it. Let's go Rails API form 4. Oh no, I want fields 4. Fields 4. Field 4. Form helper. Okay. And we can like see here. Look, record name.
All right.
Record. It's got, you know, an option. You can pass it some options as well, and then a block. But so, I mean, this is the kind of critical thing when we're kind of like trying to work out what we're passing in here and so on, whatever else. Yeah. We need to be able to work out what kind of thing it is. Is this a method? And then where can we kind of go and look up that method? So here. So we've got here another description of different, you know, different things there. Oh yes, oh lots of things. Okay. Yeah. One-to-many. Interesting.
Very like the nested.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a description, an example of the nested, and it's interesting here that it does one-to-many in this. It doesn't. It talks about one-to-one. Oh, and it does interesting. Very good. Nested. Yeah, so there's potentially a lot of interesting things to read here. I don't know if any of these will necessarily support exactly what we want to do.
Yeah.
But
I think more or less is what I've tried to do.
Yeah.
I think that's the same we found.
But yeah, if we look back at your code, the particular thing that I noticed, if we look at your code, you've got like form.object.categoryOrganizations.name.
This is because I took like the I took like kind of the same line from the source code, since I didn't really know how it worked.
Sure, but that's not the line that we have in the source code in our form, in the main.
Okay, so that's probably just
Like if I can find it, is this right? This is local support. And am I looking at the right thing? Hold on. Enter a tooltip. Render shared map scripts. Why can't I find the thing? Form 4 setup organization. Yes. What has happened to our? Have I somehow accidentally minimized? Anyway, let's go back and find it. So we go views and organizations form. Cool. We've got okay, yes. Oh, and it looks like, sorry, I've got this is Ichi's new thing, and she's put actually the entire thing into a new
Into the function, yeah, categories. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
wasn't.
But look here. That name thing, right? That's on.
It's sort. It's sort. All right. Yeah. That was the problem.
Yeah. So that's
Probably.
yeah. But I mean, yeah. I mean, again, even with that, what we want to be able to do is to be able to, like, if we look at all of these fields for things. I mean, all of these ones. Yeah, I mean, they're doing here. I mean, it seems to be. It says like here's got projects and then project. It's expecting a record name and then a kind of record object. Yeah.
All right.
Record name and then record object.
Yeah.
If we oh, and you're sharing my screen sharing. Yeah. So yeah, we're expecting this to be a name there, which is one thing, and that to be. Well, this is the thing is, I mean, it feels like we should be able to do it with categories, but that's the thing that I think that we never we were never able to get to work with Form 4, which is why we switched to that categories organizations thing.
Okay.
That's why we switched to this. Yeah. But the hope is that I mean if you could get that to work like this, that would be fantastic. But one of our best guys spent a long time trying to do that and didn't get it to work like that. So the thing we were looking at is, can we do this nested Form 4? Yeah.
Right.
We're not expecting this to work like this, but conceivably we can get this to work. I'll just get rid of conceivably we can get this to work by copying aspects of here. So category organizations, and then we don't have to have the sort. I think that's kind of like an extra, that's like a bonus thing.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to be replicating what we currently do with Form 4, then it has to be like this, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all right. It's just like I didn't really know why you had to pass from category organizations. That's one of the reasons I was a bit confused, because why do you need an intermediate model?
Well, that's an interesting question. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I think that's what we're confused as well, because it would,
I understand.
It seems like, I mean, Rails has all these helpers and things to try and make life easy for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this case, like, if we have to refer to this model, it's not making it very easy for us.
Right.
I think that reflects the fact that it seems to be that, I mean, like, the more complex a thing that you try and do, the less likely it is that Rails has got good support for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that this. Now the thing is, I still, I question, because maybe there is some way here to do like I don't know, category and then categories, even with the single Form 4. I don't know. Like, I would have thought maybe that might work, or at least, I would expect to be able to do something like this and do category all. You know what I mean? Like this.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That would be like.
Think about it in those terms. If I then go back to, I wonder if I have that window still. What are we on? We've got one here that might take me back to that. Which cohort were you in? Were you in December or February?
February.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I've got to the right place now. So here, I've got. Oops, wrong thing. Oh no, So if we now go to oops, here we go. Yeah. So this is interesting. Like, at least the doesn't like that method. But again, here I'm just experimenting. I don't know that any of this. I'm just going to remove that.
Right.
Okay. But so this gives us here, it's giving us the object name now. The name we're getting is category. I can do things like, what I'd be tempted to do here is just go in and do like a require
we need to run it through the system.
Okay.
And drop into, find out what kind of thing it's giving me.
Yeah, if it's actually, if it's a class or it's actually the attribute.
Yeah, let's go and have a look at it. And we've got bug bugs in already. Cool. So if I now reload that and stop on, where's the server gone? The server's already running on 3001. Ah, okay, I think that's a different server. Sorry. Oops. I'm running so many servers, I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. 2002. Okay. 2002. Server is already running. Really?
What?
2003?
Right.
Oh, hold on. I'm already running a server. I know what it is. I'm running somewhere else in one of my other windows. I'm, if I just do this, that should work. I've broken the other server, but anyway. Okay. So then now, yeah, just look on there. So now we can look at, like, so we've got cat F there. Ooh, that's a big thing. What is that? Enormous.
Is it like, it got like the whole object?
So it's got here like
the form builder, yeah.
So it's like it's done a category load there, and it's got like an entire form builder. Yeah, but so let's have a look at what's the cat F object. It's a relation. Yeah, there's going to be and the name is just category. But yeah, so it's I mean again, I'm just sort of playing with it there. I mean, it seems like I can't do those things. I mean, like in some ways, all of the examples that we're seeing in here, it's trying to fields for permission, and then it's like it wants us to show, the permissions for that person. Like, are they an admin? But so we can go back into our thing over here and have let's get that one back. And have a look in here, and we can say for our is our form object, we can get the categories. Then that will give us, let's go back here, 3. Thinking. Come on. Why is it going back to 2002? 2003? Thinking about it. Okay. Still doesn't like destroy for some reason. But also nicely, there's like it dumps us into an IRB session there, but it won't let us see cat F, I don't think, which is kind of annoying. But so let me just save that and reload this. Okay. Yeah, so now it just dumps out the name category there, which is, but yeah, so this, it returns this object relation.
Yeah.
Not doing what I mean, at the moment, it doesn't have any, the object, this organization that we want to create, doesn't yet have any categories. So it's sort of, I mean, what I found when I was playing with it yesterday was that if we do this, at least it does the, as if we do to categories, organization. Like that. Are you thinking about it? Okay, what is it? Categories, organizations. Category organizations, or what is it? Do we have it over here?
Category organization.
Yeah. So, like. So Oh, that's interesting. That actually, when I was doing this yesterday,
Just gave the same.
no, it's now saying something slightly different, but it's the category organization there. When I did this yesterday, I didn't experience it stops, it basically, I mean, in the situation where this object, like this object is like a new, like this form coming through this controller, this one, right? This is what's happening here. We've got like organization new there. It shouldn't have any related categories, although that's interesting that it does that there. I thought might be this yesterday, but anyway.
That could be one of the problems I meant before.
Is that something that you added?
I added it because it was in the guide. It said like if you want to refer to something else, like to create an ESER form, you want to refer to a relation, you need to add this line. It's not like I really know what's going on, and that could be one of the problems. Like
yeah, I mean, I would say with Rails, no one ever really knows what's going on. I would say we don't have that in our app.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that. So I thought, like, is there any other way one has to access the whole category?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things. I mean,
record.
Yeah, I mean, for me, well, the thing that's slightly confusing to me there is that, at least anyway. I mean, I think that the key issue that you had was that you had the .name at the end there. I mean, there's a process of, like, if we want to replicate what we were doing, then you want to, I mean, I think that the important thing is that you need to kind of stick to doing one thing at a time. So if you're trying to replicate exactly what, we did to get like a simpler version of that working, then stick to precisely that. And you kind of have to be quite, if we go back to that, just the form, where's the partial? So for example, we want to stick to precisely what this is saying. So we've got there. So it's field for, like, let's just, and like actually take that particular line, because we know it works in this context. And we're talking about, doing the thing that, okay, wait a second, so there's category, organizations. Okay, yeah, so here like this. Right, and so we could, I guess, arguably, we can do sort. So in that context. Okay, yeah. And so then we've got underline method. Yeah, so I think that's where I got to it. Yeah, oh, really? And it still has that f object name. And what I'm doing here, we are doing precisely, we're doing object category name, like that. So object.
Right.
Let's do this so I can see it go past. Go back to here. Interesting. Right.
It's like because it doesn't find no.
Yeah. So in this case, this
is
a collection proxy. But yeah. So again, I mean, there are like other things that we're doing in this context that makes various of these things work, I believe. But that's what we're doing. FF object category name. So category organizations, F object category organizations. We've got the sort, which seems to be producing an array in that case. But the critical thing to note is that we have, in order to get it to work like ours, then we have this setup organization thing, which is doing this. It's kind of going through, and I mean, we could even take that. And we could stick that into ours. So I guess that's, yeah, interesting. Yeah. So I mean, I think one could spend more time
So it
trying
actually
to.
does that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is the thing that Michael, who worked on this before, that he got set up to use this. And what I still question is, why do we need all of this extra support? But I'd say
It's like another something in like it just goes to the form output class in Rails and adds methods to it, right?
well, what this one is doing is this goes through, and it's so if you look at
The method module, sorry.
what we're saying is rather than just setting up the form for the organization, it's saying, okay, take that organization, work out which categories that it has,
Right.
subtract those from all of the categories that we've got, and then build a category organization relationship for all of those remaining categories and the organization itself. And it's kind of painting onto the organization a load of category organization relationships that it wouldn't normally have.
And that's also like because like the form builder doesn't know about the relations or
or at least in the thing that we're doing in here, basically if we look at it, like this form object is the organization. So we're kind of asking about it having all of these category organizations. And then, if we haven't added the ones that it doesn't have, then those kind of the fields for those things are not going to appear.
Right.
But like I say, it sort of feels like we should be able to do, instead of going to the, if we want to provide a list of all possible options, it feels like we should be able to say, category all here.
Yeah.
But it feels, I mean, although it might feel like that would be a sensible thing to do, it looks like Form 4 is not really set up to do that. I mean, that's what I think we're discovering. Although, I would have thought a careful reading of this this nested attributes example here might give us some insights. I think it gets into a one-to-many. There we go. A person class which returns array of project instances. Nested field forward. Yeah. Okay. But it's good. Yeah. So interestingly, here or a collection can be used. So what it's doing here actually is this is like that's looping through all of the individual projects in this of this person.
Actually, so it's kind of like the thing is, if you don't have any categories, it's kind of like.
Well, the interesting thing there is just reading that. So that makes me think of a different way to do it. In that, maybe what we want, rather than trying to do this for all of the, maybe what we want really, something like this. We want to do category all. See what it's doing here? Like it's looping. Where did it go? What's the one-to-many? One-to-many. Yeah. So here it's kind of going here like to specify the instance, like person projects each do. I'm just going to move it to the screen. Let's minimize that. Okay. So we could be doing category all there, and then I keep losing my place in the documentation. Yeah, each do category, and then here we should be doing form fields for category.
All right.
Yeah, and then I would have thought it would just be, well, maybe we still need objects, and so if we did, that would start to make more sense. I don't know what let's tab this bit in, because this then sort of implies that we do a single one for each page. Now I'm looking for.
Is that like? I think where's the tag? It was not closed. The category
Yeah, maybe
tag.
we'll see. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Which one? Oh, this one.
Yeah, the category, the 8. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what it should look like to begin with, right? I mean, although at least if there's no categories, right? But if we have some, so if we have some categories,
okay.
Why don't we have a?
Well, because it doesn't have any.
Oh, oh, you made the form there, but not the. We've got form for category. We have got a form. We just need
the name
a
of it.
button.
Oh, I didn't.
We just need a.
Right.
Oops. Oh.
F. Yeah.
Okay. So if we have category 1, we can call this. Oh, I don't know. Let's call it elephant. Let's have animals. No orgs. Create organization. Well, it's okay. See now. Here we go.
All right.
So let's have elephant. Let's have kangaroo. Let's go wallaby. I think it's called wallaby. Anyway.
Right.
Okay. So now, here we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's. And so here, this would be like, I mean, what we want then is the checkboxes. So we've got the name, which is probably working correctly. And what we want is, we want sort of a checkbox, don't we?
Right.
Yeah. Rather than a submit button. So let's have a checkbox, like this. But really? Does it need to take an argument? Look.
Destroy one.
I mean, that's sort of hacky what we've got there, but let's just throw that in for a laugh.
Right. We don't even know what like 0 and 1.
Yeah, we'll look at it in a minute. Let's see. Okay. Okay.
Right.
So I mean, at least, but I think that see, this is the interesting. Is I think this is checking whether that category. So well, I think there's 0 or 1 here. I mean, again, remember what we did here for form fields 4. How do we find out what arguments checkbox takes in Rails?
Well, it's not like.
What would we do? We do so Rails.
We go find out.
Helpers. Okay. Checkbox. Okay. Object name, method, options, checked value equals 1, unchecked value equals 0.
All right. Okay.
So it looks like actually maybe it doesn't need those.
It's kind of like true, false values, more or less.
Right. Maybe it doesn't need those. But I guess what we need to ask here is not about this. We almost need to ask about the organization. Categories. Include question mark cat f object. You know what I mean? What I'm doing here.
All right.
So,
all right. It checks if the organization has already
got that category or not.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if it's
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Makes more sense.
We'll probably just break nasty. Let's see. Oh, it's so slow. Oh yeah. Oh, probably it doesn't like Let's have, yeah, something like that too. Okay, there we go. I think that makes, well, the interesting thing, of course, now is whether this will actually allow, whether it will create the relationships.
Right.
Which I think, I mean, the interesting thing to ask here is if we inspect the element, what's it created here? It's got organization category destroy there. The value is set as 1. That's good. Well, let's see. Let's see if we create this as an organization which we'll call, I don't know, we'll call it Honolulu Zoo. And we've created Honolulu Zoo. And Honolulu Zoo, interesting. Well, Honolulu Zoo is Honolulu 1. Can we edit that? Okay. Well, anyway, I mean, yeah, I don't know if we have support. Support in here at all? Okay. So I think what we have to do is if we just go into the Rails console, is did that create the relationships for us? So we can get like organization first. Organization first category.
Right.
No, it didn't. So, I mean, the interesting question there is now actually what if the person has, we go back to our Rails documentation here, so it's got these form fields for them. Okay, but so probably we need to add things like this. That's interesting. Okay. So I think, yeah. This will allow you to specify which models to destroy in the action by adding a form element for the destroy command.
Yeah, it's already added in the code, I think.
Well, the thing is that that handles the situation where we want to destroy things. Like this is sort of telling us, okay, is this about creating the one-to-many? And then it sort of creates. So it does here like project field and then project field's text name. And that looks like, I guess you can specify the projects at the same time and have them created. And this one seems to be just to allow you to destroy the individual things. I guess, I mean, again, it comes back to this. Again, I'm not sure if, is this intended to actually destroy those projects permanently, or is it just destroying the relationship between the person and the project, and the other, you know, the projects might be designed somewhere else. But I wonder if the passing of 0 allows it to actually be created. If you're set up for that, I don't know. But it certainly feels like what we probably haven't got is for our app model. We've got our organization. No, we have got that categories. Allow destroy. In some ways, is when we had that post. Here we go, and we created the thing there. Yeah, it came in like the only thing that came in there is it came in like a category destroy 1.
Right.
And it didn't actually seem to post the things that we wanted to see. So if we go back to
yeah, so it doesn't actually like link the category to the organization.
No, well, let's have a look at this again. Like here, inspect element for each of these. Yeah, it's basically just doing organization category destroy. and with value 1. I mean, and then this one is organization value 1.
Doesn't
and
change.
The value is always 1 there. Which is, I mean, I would have thought that they were all. Oh, I guess the way that we've got it.
I think it was set up in some. Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, I think I've kind of flipped this, but it's saying like if it includes. I think it's maybe it should be that way around. Maybe that's going to make. I would at least. Yeah, I would have thought that they all. Right, we can call this like. Vancouver do. I don't think it's going to make too much difference. But so again, in this one, if we can look in here. Yeah, I mean, all 4 of them will destroy. Yeah, I think just the presence or the absence of the checkbox is not. So we're getting like a input name for the category, and then we're also getting a checkbox which is being set with the same name and that. Yeah. But yeah. So I think bottom line is I think my spider sense, my rail sense tells me that maybe there isn't a good way to do this with the simple form 4. And in order to do it effectively, we need that nested form 4.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that should be like the only thing about it. It's like I'll seriously have to try this one. That's because I'm not really sure. Like reading the documentation, I'm not really sure about how it changes between this way and the other way we use.
And I'm not sure either, but that is, I think we don't have to understand exactly how it works in order to find out if it works. Like, so it was not just this nested form thing. I mean, it's also like we've got like there's an example project shows how this works is available. I mean, but so we can have a look in here and look at the view surveys. Form. Yeah. So we've got things like this. But I mean, it's how it works under the hood is kind of irrelevant at the moment. The question is, can we get it to do what we want? I mean, again, sort of what I've been doing there, playing around with this category all thing, is to see, is there a better way? I mean,
I think you have to do it through
I'm kind of, when we were looking at this, I'm almost tempted.
Office software.
A lot of people have got questions in this. Has many associations. Oh, look at that. If you want to edit each element of an array of objects.
Right.
Yeah, you see, there's lots of reading and things in there. I mean, again, it's like we are lost in kind of a maze. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We're lost in a maze, but that's a normal situation to be in, right? So we have this, thing about, is there a way to cleanly do what we want to do with this kind of Rails stuff here, which we might discover by reading and trying these different things, or actually we need to go over and do it with the nested form thing. But again, it's about, I mean, for me now, having, I got a bit of an idea there, and it works out in one way, but not in another way.
Right.
I mean, in this maze that we're now in, I can see 2 paths. So one of them, given this documentation here, I mean, I might be tempted to try and recreate exactly this, and see if I can get this to work, and do what they think it says, and then carry on, exploring this. Or I might say, I'm going to go for this one. But it's sort of, we need to choose one or the other. It doesn't really matter which one we choose, as long as we choose one and we stick to it, and we try and draw a conclusion.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, is it just for Rails 3? Because
no, well, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hopefully it's. Because I think like they said there was like just something
you
to
mentioned
change for Rails 4, but
which makes me think that it should work with Rails. No, but we might.
Yeah, I think
we might find out that it doesn't work for Rails 4, but that's one of the risks.
Yeah,
there are always risks with the different pathways. But I'm encouraged by. I've lost it now. What is it? Sorry, Rails 4. The fact that he mentioned Rails 4 here.
It's
how to do it
so he knows that, like,
it sounds like it's not a guarantee, because I mean he hasn't updated it here to say. I mean, I think when he said this is probably originally from when Rails 4 didn't exist, so maybe he wants to change this to be Rails 4 and above. Maybe it doesn't. There's also a build error there. I mean, but then we'll be using the gem rather than the latest code. So who knows? But it's sort of like the important thing is to kind of like, we want to try and enjoy the process of exploring.
Problem is,
anyhow, I'm probably going to have to nip off now.
Yeah,
I hope that was helpful.
No, sure, that's really helpful. Thanks.
Yeah, so have a bit of a play and we'll check in again tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Tommaso. Bye for now.
Thank you. See you.